How did just 50,000 soldiers and two brilliant minds outsmart an army of 800,000? Welcome to the ultimate underdog battle, where brains beat brawn and history went up in flames. This is Red Cliff. Part 1. Before the story unfolds, know this. At the heart of Red Cliff, where the fate of an empire teeters on the edge, 4 legendary figures and a few unshakable allies stand ready to shape the course of history. Cao Cao, Chancellor of the Eastern Han, has conquered the north and now turns his eyes south. Though he claims to serve the emperor, many believe he seeks the throne. A brilliant general and refined poet, Cao Cao hides ruthless ambition behind a cultured facade. Opposing him is Liu Bei, a loyalist warlord and a constant thorn in his side. Though often defeated, Liu Bei remains a symbol of loyalty to the Han. His hope endures, kept alive by the brilliance of his strategist, Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang is more than an advisor. He's a master of war and wisdom. With dazzling strategies, clever inventions, and insights drawn from stars and scrolls, he turns intellect into a weapon. At Liu Bei's side stand his sworn brothers Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, legendary warriors bound by loyalty and honor. They fight not for power, but to defend the Han and resist tyranny. With them rides Zhao Yun, the dragon of Changshan. Fearless and precise, his spear strikes like lightning. He seeks no glory, only justice. To the east, young Sun Quan inherits leadership of Wu after his brother's death. Though cautious, his decision to defy Cao Cao becomes a turning point in the struggle for China. His sister, Sun Shangjiang, is bold and sharp-witted, unafraid to step into the storm of war. Her courage and cunning prove vital in battles ahead. Commanding Wu's forces is Zhao Yun, the Grand Viceroy. A tactician and musician, he leads with brilliance and elegance. Beside him is his wife, Zhao Xiao, not just famed for her beauty, but revered for her strength, wisdom, and grace. Her quiet presence becomes a powerful force as the fires of Red Cliff begin to rise. The stage is set. The fate of an empire will be decided. Let's dive into the battles. In the searing heat of summer, in the year 208 AD, the once mighty Han Dynasty was crumbling under the weight of corruption and war. From the heart of the empire, the ambitious Chancellor Cao Cao rose like a storm, wielding the emperor's seal not to protect the land, but to seize it. With the reluctant approval of Emperor Shan, Cao Cao launched a sweeping military campaign with 800,000-strong army, vowing to eliminate the rebels in the south. In truth, his target was clear: the noble warlords Liu Bei and Sun Quan, the final obstacles in his path to total domination. Cao Cao's army, vast, disciplined, and merciless, swept through Jing Province, toppling defenses in days. As his cavalry thundered toward Changban, a wave of panic surged through the land. Liu Bei, known for his compassion, led thousands of civilians in a desperate retreat. But retreat turned to chaos when Cao Cao's elite horsemen struck. The battlefield at Changban erupted in fire and steel. In the midst of the slaughter, Liu Bei's sworn brothers Guan Yu, calm and deadly with his green dragon blade, and Zhang Fei, wild-eyed and roaring defiance, held back the tide. Every second they bought saved another life. Far ahead, the fearless warrior Zhao Yun cut through enemy lines alone, searching for Liu Bei's family. Though tragedy shadowed his mission, he emerged bloodied but triumphant, carrying the warlord's Liu Bei infant son in his arms. With no time to waste, Liu Bei turned to his most brilliant mind, Zhuge Liang, the sleeping dragon. He knew they could not stand alone. Zhuge Liang journeyed to Jiangdong, home of Sun Quan, whose armies controlled the rivers. There, politics clashed with fear. Sun Quan, young and burdened by the weight of command, stood at a crossroads. Surrender to Cao Cao or resist and risk everything. It was Zhuge Liang's words, measured, sharp, and full of vision, that planted the seeds of resistance. And it was a tiger hunt, a test of courage alongside the elegant warrior Sun Shangxiang and the seasoned general Zhao Yun, that hardened Sun Quan's resolve. Together, they forged an alliance not out of trust but out of necessity.
我心已决，必与曹操拼死一战。
As the allies prepared for war, troubling news arrived. Cai Mao and Zhang Yun, naval commanders from the fallen Jing Province had defected to Cao Cao. Their betrayal swelled his naval forces to over 300,000, tipping the balance even further in his favor. With little time to spare, the Allied forces knew they had to act fast. Studying maps and watching the winds, Cao Cao's mighty army, 800,000 strong, surged forward by land and river, bearing down on Red Cliff. The Allied force of just 50,000 stood vastly outnumbered, but not outwitted. But in this war, it wasn't size that mattered, it was strategy. The Allies struck first. Sun Quan, cloaked in armor and fearlessly leading the charge, spearheaded a daring cavalry raid. Her goal? To bait Cao Cao's vanguard into a trap, the legendary Eight Trigrams Formation. Inspired by ancient Taoist philosophy, the formation was more than a tactic. It was a living, breathing labyrinth of terrain and troops. Inside, every movement was a calculated illusion. At its core, control was absolute. But at the fringes, chaos reigned. Cao Cao's troops, confident and charging forward, didn't realize they were stepping into a maze. Flanks vanished. Archers emerged from the shadows. Cavalry flowed like water, splitting, striking, and vanishing again. By the time the enemy understood they were trapped, it was too late. The vanguard collapsed, swallowed whole by shifting lines and precise coordination. The trap had worked. Yet Cao Cao remained calm, unshaken. With the patience of a predator, he advanced his main army to the riverbank across from the Allied camp. A final showdown loomed.
九合诸侯，一匡天下。
In the calm before the storm, as celebrations sparked within the Allied tents, Zhuge Liang was already plotting his next move. Sun Quan would go behind enemy lines, in disguise, slipping through shadows to spy on the enemy camp. Her reports, carried by messenger pigeons, whispered secrets across the river, ripples before the tidal wave. The Battle of Red Cliff was about to ignite, and the fate of a nation would soon be written in flame, steel, and strategy. And that was just the beginning. The fire ships? Oh yeah, they're coming. Part 2 is where everything explodes, literally. So if you enjoyed this epic tale of war and wits, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell, because you do not want to miss what happens when this river goes up in flames. Red Cliff, Fire of Destiny, continues soon.